Right on time, baby.
And Kiana.
And Kiana, and Kiana, and Kiana. You ready, Oos?
I'm ready, baby. Let's get it. You ready,
You
little
ready,
Oos?
little Oos? Yes, sir.
You now rocking with Big Oos Radio. It's your boy Boogie Oogie Oogie. Alongside me, I got my co-host. Introduce yourselves.
I go first.
Go
What up, y'all?
ahead.
I get to go first. It's Kiana. Hi, small oos, not big.
Small Oos.
Small oos, big personality.
And it's your boy, Big Oos Manny, on the ones and twos.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a long intro. I just wrote that up, and we got some new merch.
New merch. How can people get the new merch?
New merch, please DM us on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Go in the search bar, type in Big Oos Radio. We're the only one, and if we're not, let us know. We'll go track those people down.
Yeah.
Our IG page, and we also have a website, bigoosradio253.com.
Yes.
Copy your latest
I'm
merch.
still waiting for mine.
Good drip. It's in the print shop.
Got you. We got
Because
you.
I told him, I said medium, and there was like, someone's a medium. I said, no, this girl's medium for real.
Yeah, we had to argue with the guy like, Oos. Like, none of your people wear mediums.
Tricky.
Really.
There was like,
I
all
wear
your
medium,
orders that
too.
came in, you never had a medium in there.
It's like kid size. Kid size. Give me a kid size large.
It's for littles.
Oh,
Nonetheless,
man.
we want to welcome
I'm not changing my
everybody.
background until I get a shirt.
There you go. There you go. We'll make that happen. We want to welcome everybody to Big Oos Radio, another segment of Jerusalem High. I want to thank everybody for tapping in. I see, man, everybody and their mamas on today. What's going on, family?
Bug, are you leaning on something or are you flexing?
I'm just flexing.
It looks like
You
he's
know.
flexing up, Kiana.
He's like a vato stance. He got his vato stance.
You know.
Oh,
that's
okay.
me. I just
Look,
like
button
he's
up.
just-
Get the shirt
you know,
buttoned up to the
you know what I
top.
mean? You know what I mean? You know, are you talking about those, Manny?
Like traps are showing.
Are you talking about those? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? I'll show you how to get these, man. No, welcome, man. It's good to see everybody on the live today. If you're just tapped in, you already know what to do, right? What do folks got to do right now? We want you to share this video.
Share.
Hit that
the
share
video.
button. We should see
Share.
sharer by everybody's name.
Yeah.
What's
I
up?
see
What's
Tito.
Up,
What's up, Tito?
Tito?
Jasmine.
First
Sister
Lady
Niece.
Jazz.
Ooh.
First Lady Jazz.
Famangaloma, you're right. You're right.
$50 fee.
$50 Salah.
Congratulations to
Congratulations
First
to the
Lady and the little Kenny family on
Yes.
their news that they received. They got blessed to be the pastors for
Good Samaritan
Good
Outreach.
Samaritan Outreach Church. So
Yeah. What's up, Sis Valine? Sis Fo, it's good to see y'all, man. Hey,
my mama's
what up?
on. Hi,
Yes.
mama.
First Lady for two is on. How you doing?
A lot of
Tina,
first
Tina,
ladies.
Tina. All the
A lot of
first
first
ladies,
ladies
are
on
in
the
the building.
feed. Eesh.
My sister A, what's going down?
Because First
Good to
Lady
see
Kiana
you.
is on, that's why.
Huh?
Whatever.
Yeah. First
I
Lady
don't even know what
Kiana.
that means.
Yeah. First Lady Kiana, Big News Radio.
Ah, First Lady Presidente. Presidente's in the building.
Yes, sir.
Yes, man. We
sir.
just want to welcome everybody. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. Make sure y'all hit that live. We're gonna be talking about we have a topic or a subject that we're gonna be talking about that is near and dear to our hearts and the work that we do. And we've had multiple people hit us up about having this conversation, and here we are today, about to have this conversation. So I'm excited to bring on a mental health therapist, someone who was a part of a practice here in Pierce County, and is doing some great work here locally in the city of Lakewood with the school district, also on our military bases. So we're going to be bringing her on here shortly. Before we do that, we want to go to a real quick video if we can.
I
And
think that you can talk about stress.
okay.
Anxiety, you can talk about it, but mental, no.
Mm.
They don't call that mental
They
What do they say? Crazy?
crazy.
they
Mm.
label you.
So if you talk about it, then you'll be labeled.
You be labeled. You. There's a mental
Okay.
person in your family, and no one is supposed to.
But
What do they say? Crazy? When you think of, when I say the word mental health, what is the first word that comes to your head?
Embarrassment
Okay. Embarrassment
to the family.
to the family. If someone has a mental health issue, what's the first word
I don't
you
like
think?
saying it, but
No, do
they're
it.
a retard.
Okay.
But I don't
No,
know.
we just have to be
Handicap.
honest here. Handicap, retard, yes.
I have no idea.
That's fine.
Seclusion.
Okay.
No, go with what he said.
Which one?
Retard.
Okay.
I don't know how to.
it's really hard with the Pacific Islander community because we don't have words to
Right.
describe what's
Right.
depressing, what
The
bipolar
American.
is.
Okay.
What they're all crazy.
That's the thing. When we came from Tonga, we did believe we only learn about stress and depression here.
Here in America.
Yeah.
And when the diabetes, if your sugar diabetes is low and you are sick, and in the island, they think you are crazy.
Thank you for sharing that clip, Manny. We want to welcome, if you would help light up our live feed, ladies and gentlemen, for mental health therapist, Scarlett Ekeroma, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a big round of applause. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Jerusalem High. Miss Scarlett, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us this evening and covering a very, very important topic that I know that's near and dear to your heart, given the work that you do. I just want to, before we move forward, just give you an opportunity to share a little bit about yourself. Tell us where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where's your family from?
So I was born in American Samoa, so our family is from Leone and Safuna. But I was raised in Florida. And so I recently moved to Washington State in 2016. So I've been a therapist, a fully licensed therapist since 2017, but been in the field since 2012. So graduated from Webster University and the University of Florida, so go Gators. So yeah. And I became a therapist, just because I didn't see people who looked like me. And so that's why I decided to get into this field and help out in any capacity that I can. So I'm a daughter to me and a friend to many. So that's who I am, quick and short.
Thank you so much, Scarlett, for being with us this evening.
Appreciate you,
and we would be remiss if we did not mention your organization or your practice is Elevation LLC, correct?
Elevate Healing LLC.
I'm sorry.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. And is that your organization? Is that your LLC?
Yes. Yes, this is my private practice.
Wow.
So me and me only.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That for Scarlett, bro.
Private practice.
Come on now, private practice. That's what I'm talking about.
That's amazing.
So your work,
Thank you,
Scarlett, before we get into this clip, I know everybody's seen the clip, right? And I have some questions or some things that I'm interested to learn about. But talk to us about where you're currently at right now, because I hear you're doing some work on the military base and then also within the Clover Park School District. Is that correct?
Yes. So I'm a military counselor, and I work at two schools, which is Carter Lake Elementary and Lakes High School. And currently we're all remote at this current point. And so I do that as my full-time, private practice as for me time, I should say.
That's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's get into this clip. Like we saw this clip. I mean, what is, and I'm interested to hear from all three of you guys, and then we'll let kind of, I guess, Scarlett kind of close out. But what are your thoughts about seeing this clip, Kiana and Manny, before we allow Scarlett to kind of give her thoughts around that? What are your thoughts about that video?
I'll go first because
does it resonate with us? Is this right?
Yeah, I'll go first because I think Kiana and Scarlett probably I mean, obviously know way more than me on covering this topic, but from my experience growing up and listening to the answers of some of the older generation, right? I grew up listening to some, the same verbiage, the same language. If something's wrong with you, you're Valea,
Mm.
you're mental. In Hawaii we say, "Hey, mental boy," you know what I mean, or you crazy, and
Mm.
not really fully
Mm.
understanding that something might have happened, right?
Mm.
And and something might be, what I mean, we can go on for days of what that something might be, but never taking the time to really understand what happened,
Mm.
right? And so we
Mm.
see the characteristics and we see the traits of what's coming from that something, and we're calling them crazy. We're calling them Valea. We're calling them dumb. We're calling them all these, mental boy, right? And so a lot of that stuff in that video. When I first watched that video, I was laughing, and not to be rude or to think, belittle anything that we're talking about tonight, but like laughing, like because it took me back to a place where I was like, oh shoot, I heard that language growing up. That was
Mm.
normal.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so that's my take on and I think they mentioned that they were Tongan on the video, right? But if it was Samoans, or if it was, I can't speak for Fijians. I'm Samoan, right? And so when I say I grew up listening to that kind of language, obviously it was Samoan people who was talking. So,
Mm.
whether it be Tongans or Samoans, that's the same. I think if it was a panel of Samoan people, we would speak the same things. We would get the same answers.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Kiana.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I think, the question that they're asking is like, what do you think when you think mental health? And the first thing that immediately comes to mind for me is, um, you know, if we is there language for what they're asking about, right? So one of the elders, he said, I don't think of anything because I don't know what that means. And I think
Mm.
that's real, right? Like when we don't have
Mhm.
language for certain things, there's a big difference. So if I don't have language to talk about depression, how can I, as myself or within my community, tell somebody I'm depressed? I can say I'm
Yeah.
sad, but if there's not a way to
Mhm.
describe being deeply sorrowed, then I think it prevents us from kind of unpacking that and looking at how do you resolve. Sad and depressed, two different terms, but in our language, we
Mhm.
don't really have layers for that. And so I think
Mm.
the language piece is very important when we talk about mental health, because it doesn't easily translate over into different communities. However, it doesn't mean that we don't have, like our own healing practices. It just means like we have to look at what are ways that we talk about it, and what are ways that we need to expand what we're talking about, so that we don't simplify it or dismiss it, like Manny was saying, as something that,
Mhm.
you're just crazy, or you need more prayer or something like that. So I think the
Yeah.
language thing is what stood out the most for me.
Yeah, I
For
agree.
sure. For
And
sure.
I want to pivot over to Scarlett. I mean, as you watch this video, Scarlett, you hear the response from some of our elders within the Pacific
Mhm.
Islander community. Is this kind of a normal a response that something that's commonly heard by you being in your profession?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think in particular what I tend to do is to change the how we label it, because everybody wants to label everything. And so part of what I say is when I meet new clients, I say, so whatever you saw in the movies, that's not what this is. Because
Mm.
that's sometimes how we get it. We get the word crazy, the word mental, because of what's been shown in movies. And so
Mm.
we take that and we put it and we apply that to our everyday life. So in particular, when I meet somebody new, I said, okay, let's talk about inner wellness. Let's talk about our inner challenges, because what I try to do is to make what I'm doing more inviting instead of repulsive, because you have to change the language, because if we think about it, how you talk to somebody, that lets them know whether they can come in or they just kind of just stay out.
That's good. So you're saying
Yeah.
is using other language as a way to, like, right? Because when you think
Mm-hmm.
about because I mean, mental health is such a big word, or just
Big word. Mm-hmm.
right. And so when you hear that, there's all these negative stigmas attached to that word.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying your approach is changing the way you
Mm-hmm.
address that language, right?
Yeah, For sure, because mental health, like you said, is just a wide spectrum, and there's so many things that can be covered under that. But since the word mental in itself has such a bad stigma, or it has a highly negative stigma, that's where I go, okay, let's talk about inner health, let's talk about inner wellness, because essentially what that says to me, when you say inner, you're not just thinking brain, you're thinking about your entire being, your entire body of what's going on inside of you.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your definition? Right. We know the Webster definition of the word mental health, but explain for somebody who's viewing, right, and to the point of the elder who was asked about what it is, and he was just like, I don't know, like, right. Give us your definition, and feel free to weigh in, Kiana and Manny as well. Like, what is your definition
Yes, please do.
of what mental health is?
So for me, inner wellness is about if you're having symptoms that are interfering with your daily functioning in several parts of life, whether it's work, home, with your kids, parents, or with your spouse or significant other. So if you're having those things that are negatively impacting you, then it's like, okay, how are those things interfering with your overall quality of life and overall well-being?
That's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna. Every single word that she just said was the words that was gonna come out of my mouth. So go ahead, Kiana. Go ahead, Kiana.
I know, I heard it in my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Well, you know, and it also makes me think, because, you know, when I kind of how Manny was talking about earlier about, like, when we hear like mental, then we think crazy, and then we want to separate ourselves from it, and we want to distance ourselves from it. And we talked a little bit beforehand just how in our own upbringings, you know, anytime there's anything wrong with us, like, for instance, if I fell down the stairs when I grew up, if I fell down the stairs, my mom's probably gonna watch this, she will whoop me for messing around the stairs and falling down the stairs. Or if we did things wrong, right, we would be corrected by getting whooped. And so I think sometimes when we feel like there's something that's wrong, we want to immediately distance ourselves from it, because we have this kind of like visceral reaction, right? That we're not supposed to be wrong. It's punitive, like it can be attached to punishment. And so when we grow up, there's these things like that we can't deal with. We don't have the language for like our inner wellness. We don't have the language for, like, I feel like I'm depressed. I feel like I've been sad for, like, you know, 12 days straight. What is this? And if we feel like it's something wrong with us, I know in some experiences that I had early on in my younger adult years, I wanted to immediately distance myself from it and shut it down, because there was never time to figure out, right, and gain the language for what's going on there. And I think, you know, far and wide, that's why this conversation right now is really important, because we need to look at how do we expand our language, and how do we expand normalizing this discussion so that we can tap into it at every angle, whether it's something that is just like, you know, might be minor, or something that might be massive. But I mean, you know, not having conversation around it at all because it's stigmatized, I think can be very dangerous for us in the long run.
No, that's so good. Scarlett, how do we unpack that? How do we unpack that if we, especially growing up as a Samoan, and I'm speaking specifically for my family, if this resonates with anybody who's on the live or anyone of you on here, feel free to chime in. But as a Samoan, because, right, that language is so foreign to me, right? And to Kiana's point, like, I was lost and I inherited some of that toxic kind of teaching where mom used to say, and I'm like, okay, hold on. If I get hurt, you're gonna fussy me again. If I get hurt, okay, I'm confused, right? And so how do I unpack that now that I'm an adult? Because I have been brought up, right, that way, and there's been so many kind of underlining factors and layers to this trauma that I might have, that I've experienced as a young person. Now I'm an adult, and I find myself parenting my children the same way. Like, hold on, that doesn't make sense. I used to question my mom and dad, like, why they would, right, try to harm me if I got hurt. Like, it makes no sense. But here I am doing that, right? I'm a recipient of that kind of toxic thinking. How do we unpack that?
So a lot of pretty much how, from my experience growing up as in a Samoan household is, you have to be taught those things. And so the thing about where those things are taught, sometimes it's not in school, sometimes it's actually in a therapist's office. And so part of what the challenge that I give to when I see Polynesians in my office, I talk with them about, are you ready to go against the grain of what's traditional? Because
Can I hold you right there?
Yeah, go ahead.
'Cause I want you to speak about that. What does that mean? When you say I want you to go against the grain, can you please provide clarity to what you mean by that?
Yeah. So going against the grain is actually saying how you feel without the fear of consequences, or if there's a consequence that's going to occur, it's just like, okay, but I'm still going to say so that they know how I feel. And they know. And so, because a lot of times, if you think about it, we never really share how we're feeling when we're growing up. And that's what always happens, is a lot of confusion. So like you and Kiana said, it's just like, wait, you're going to hit me because I fell? Wait, what happened? So the thing about it, if you're not taught differently, you just literally carry that on, and it doesn't change. So what I always talk about is how do we break these things generationally? Because if we're talking about, we want these these kids with inner wellness who are at 90% healthy, as far as what are we being? Because I always talk about, I don't need every day to be an amazing day. I need you all to be okay and up, because that's just the reality of life, And so it's how we, where do we learn it, and then the meeting the challenges that comes when you start to change it, because there are going to be some challenges that come, and sometimes we want things to happen so quickly, but we're talking about life changes which are literally step by step.
That's really good. I think one of the most important things that I've heard from Scarlett on just that last thing that Boog was talking about was breaking the generational stuff. Because I cannot. This is one thing that I never try to fault my parents for, right? It's because they try their best to raise me the best way that I can, to the best of their ability and their knowledge at that time, right? And now we're talking about, we're moving into an age, they call this the age of information. Now we know more, right? There's information about, back then we wasn't talking about mental health or, taking care of ourselves, right? We wasn't talking about none of that. Now we're in the age of, so what do I do? What do I do now, right? And I'll be I wouldn't say I'll be a fool, but to turn back and be like, oh, Dad, you guys never even care about me, like, thinking about all those times can really break me down. I'd rather think, hey, I'm in position now to kind of, like what Scarlett's saying, break those generational curses. Break that generational thing where it doesn't go on to my son, where I learn from my father, my son's learning from me, his son's going to learn from him, the same cycle, and nobody ever gets fixed. Nobody ever gets the help they need.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because you got to kind of like, the truth is, in my experience, kind of like, and to Manny's point, yeah, God bless our parents. They did the best that they could, right? They didn't grow up in America like we did. Like I always share with my kids and Manny, like, I tell my kids, dude, there's nothing, you're not going to get away with anything, right? On me, not on my watch, because I've been through it all. You know what I mean? I did that against my parents, and they didn't know. Like the teacher would call, I'd lie, like, oh, who's that? Oh, why are they gonna beat me? Oh no, it's the credit bill collector or something. I could easily get away with those kinds of things. I knew how to could manipulate the situation. Like I tell my kids, like dude, don't even try it, Joe. I already did it, right? And so to that point, like I was able to like control a lot of the way I grew up, and versus nowadays, right? But there are some things that I had to unlearn as well that I learned from mom and dad, right? And some of those things like weren't easy, because I felt like they shaped who I was, but some of them was just really, really harsh. And some of those practices, I try to take the opposite route when I'm raising my kids. Like I am thankful that I went through that, but I'm like, yo, I'm gonna learn from that one, mom and dad, and I'm just gonna look at that situation and like I'm gonna listen to that, but I'm gonna parent my children a little different based on what I just learned from that. But thank you for that. You know what I mean? So
that work is hard, right? Like trying to figure out how to, like definitely credit our parents for doing the best that they can. Like all of us, our parents absolutely were vested in us, and I don't take anything away from them. I deeply love and honor and respect everything my parents did. And then at the same time, they're just like, Scarlett, you said something really important. You said, can you say things without the fear of consequence? And that right there, even in my adulthood, has been so hard for me to break. Dang, why do you feel so afraid to say things? Like, if that's what you feel like, why can't you say it? And I remember having to, sit in an era of my life, like having to like little by little incrementally say things that were challenging, that I felt like there would be some sort of a backlash. And when I thought about it deeply, I was like, it's because anytime you say things that are out of line, you were put back into line. And that's just the cultural upbringing that we come from. And so I tried to do that. I try to do that with my daughter. I fail probably majority of the time, but I try, because she got a mouth like me. And I was like, dang, I need you to learn language so that when you're an adult, you know how to advocate for yourself, and you don't fear consequences for being able to say the things that you truly feel. And there'll be times where I'll sit and she will say things, and I was just like, dang, if you stop her right now, you are perpetuating the cycle. You must let her express herself. But at the end of it, as angry as I might get, as frustrated as I might be, and as much as I want to tell 8-year-old that they're wrong, I know that I have just given her the opportunity to fully express her emotions. And, if she is wrong, I can talk about it, but at least she's had the opportunity to talk about it. And my hope is that at some point it breaks the cycle that I felt as a young adult, just being like, I fear consequences. My mom's not here, but I feel she's gonna zoom in out of nowhere and smack me. And I was like, oh, let me try to break that in my daughter, so that she's confident in how she feels, and she knows why she feels what she feels, because it's been normal for her whole life. But man, if that ain't one of the most hardest things to do as a parent.
For sure. I think one of the things that when I grew up, if you say how you felt, it was looked at as a sign of disrespect. And so the thing about it is, so as an adult now, I talk about how do we redefine actually what respect means. Me sharing with you how I'm feeling is not a sign of disrespect. It's me saying, like, I'm trying to invite you in so we can get better together. And so how do we, so this same pattern doesn't repeat. So it's like I said, it's redefining those things. To have healthier relationships. So like I said, so we don't continue to repeat this cycle over and over.
I would like to think that as a parent, like to your point, Scarlett, that I'm maybe a little more open than my parents, right? Because there's definitely certain conversations that I know for sure that I could never bring up at the dinner table, or just like even in the car, like, right? There's like, right, all this awkward space in the car, or these moments where you feel internal, like, I want to say something to mom and dad about what I'm going through, but I know that I'm going to be met with that response of, or they're going to brush me off, because I don't think it was it was a matter of them not loving me. It's just them not having the wherewithal or the experience to meet me at whatever I was going to share. And so it was always right, that saying, which is so true, right? Which is kakalo leli, right? I believe that we should pray and of course offer to the Lord, because there's no greater therapist than God. But at the same time, there are some tangible things that need to happen in order for me as a person to find restoration and healing. And by you just saying pray all the time, that's good. But I need somebody to sit and help me to unpack the things that are happening internally. And that's not happening right now. But you just saying, cool. Yeah, I get that. But so what would be there might be somebody who's on tonight.
That's really good.
Somebody's on tonight. What would you say to encourage them? What is an avenue for them to begin to unpack or navigate through some of that?
So in particular with those type of individuals, when I meet, I always let them know, like, prayer and therapy can coexist together. And that it's a matter of, like, we're not saying get rid of what makes you comfortable, which is prayer, go for it. But also because we always pray for guidance and help, just know that guidance and help can come in the form of therapy as well.
That's very true. Because a lot of times when we're praying, we're expecting God to like literally come in my mind and change, you know what I mean? And like come in my heart.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like we pray prayers that God lead me to the help that I need. Right. And then what God does is that he brings people into our lives like therapists to help us release all of this emotion, questions, and all of that stuff. But to think, I think that's very important, and I'm happy that you guys brought that up. That prayer and help and therapy can coexist
That's great.
because it does. Jesus doesn't literally come and knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm gonna jump in your chest and enter your heart." You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that physically. It doesn't work like that, right? And so when we're praying for things, like you said, Book, it's tangible things. God, lead me to the help that I need.
Yeah.
Right? Lead me to the help. Show me. Bring the people around me that because a lot of times we pray these kind of prayers, but then we surround ourselves with negativity and all of the stuff that destroys us. But it's not because we want to. It's because how we were raised to.
That's good.
Preacher.
Huh.
Sorry.
Whew, I feel you, bro.
It's therapeutic. It's
No, but it's such a man. It's this needs to happen. This needs to people need to know this, right? Because I grew up that way. I grew up in the church, and that's the reason why I'm so like about it right now. It's because man, every time I was going through something when I was a kid, every time I didn't want to speak about something, right? They would say, "Oh, pray, just pray, oh, pray," and then the times that God didn't answer me the way I thought He was supposed to, guess who I'm mad at now? I'm mad at God, and I don't believe in church no more. I don't believe in the gospel. I don't believe in any. So I'm destroying more parts of my life because it's not being corrected. It's not being handled correctly.
Yeah.
Ooh, I almost cried.
Man, me too, man.
Go ahead and cry. Hey, it's a safe space,
If you do it. It's
You
okay.
better go ahead. Listen, we ocean people. Sometimes the ocean come out of space. Okay.
That's right.
And Manny, thank you for sharing that. Like, I think that that's so important. Just like, like trying to like process and think through the things that you feel and being able to have some sort of, I think we're like always looking for a solution. And if we don't get it, then what do you do? And Scarlett, I'm wondering if you could speak towards this, because I shared with some people a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, I finally enrolled myself in therapy, and I'm comfortable with sharing that here, just because I struggle a lot with grieving my father, who passed away a couple of years ago. And I'm just like, listen, a lot of people say, "Oh, Kiana, well, you're strong about this, you're strong about that." I was like, I don't care how strong you think I am. This stuff ain't nothing to play with. Like, there's some answers I do not have, and there are some things that I come up against, and I don't know how to get over them, and that's okay. Like, that's absolutely okay. And so I shared that with people because I wanted to normalize how the challenges that we have in life, just as Manny was sharing, like these are things that we need to normalize, that we feel, and that there are ways for us to seek out, solutions for them. And so I'm wondering if you could speak towards like, what does that look like for people who might be thinking about like seeking out like mental health support or inner wellness support. Actually, let me use the reframing language.
Yes.
When folks want to look for wellness, when they're looking for that sort of support, like what does that look like?
So one of the things that you can do is if you're working through your insurance, you can definitely it'll either say behavioral health or mental health on your insurance. And they'll tell you, you just call them, your HR people, say, "Hey, I would like to enroll," or you can use your employee assistant program. And they, depending on how many sessions they give you per issue, or you can just kind of end up keeping that therapist as well. But the big thing I would say is therapist shop. Every therapist is not for you.
Yeah.
And so I would say follow your gut feeling. And so if you're entering in a therapist's office and something feels off, don't feel like you have to go back, because you don't.
So
you absolutely don't.
That's so good.
And so go with somebody who fits with you. And so the other part is Google searches. Google is such a powerful tool, or whatever AOL, I don't know. So whatever those, use your searches, and all you can do, you can find therapists who are in the local area. I'll be giving Manny and Vince and Kiana some resources that they'll be able to post where you can find therapists who cover specific topics. So, definitely start with work. Look at what your insurance, like I said, because everybody should have it. Even if you're on Medicaid, you still get therapy sessions. So don't think that you don't, but you do.
And what does that look like when somebody does come to a therapy session? Like, what do they talk about, or how do they go about it? Like, what does that whole process look like for someone?
So,
I think one
so
of
the beginnings.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kim.
I was
Sorry.
just saying, like, one of the things I'm thinking is just that, like, I, for a fact that not a lot of our community has sought out this sort of support. And so I'm thinking about folks out there who are wondering and have never been to a session or don't know who to talk to about that. Like, what might that look like to them?
So when you go into a therapist's office, when you finally decide on one, just be prepared to answer a lot of questions in the beginning. So they're going to get a whole, what we call a biopsychosocial history, so that we can help determine the path or guide of what the inner challenges that you're having. And so we'll ask about family history. We will ask about how it's work. We'll ask about if you're having certain symptoms. So that's pretty much how it starts. Depending on what it is, there may or may not be a diagnosis, depending on what it is. So I know people get afraid of the word diagnosis. That's just really just a term we use just to help guide us to address the challenges that you're having. So it's not a bad thing. And so what I always say to people who come in my office, I said, if everybody in the world would go to therapy, about 98% of people would be diagnosed with something. Something at some time in some of your life. Some diagnosis sticks, some don't. So just depending on what it is. And so just be prepared to answer a lot of questions. And it takes about, depending on the type of therapist, it takes between an hour to an hour and a half, because you're literally trying to tell us this whole thing about your life within that 1.5 hours. Yeah.
That's good. I think a lot of times when we're doing Tuesday segments or Fire Fridays, we can feel the energy from the feed, right? And so I'm following it live, and just the advice and the encouragements and the stuff that people are vibing with through this whole thing. It's amazing, and we see all of you guys' comments.
Yeah.
We recognize all of you guys that's typing right now.
Ask questions, right?
Yes.
What I want to say is that I'm thankful that we've opened this space. Right, this is something that a lot of people have been me and Bug up about talking about, because like you saw in the video in the beginning, a lot of what we're saying is normalize this stuff, man. Let's stop sweeping stuff under the carpet. Let's start talking about these things that right. And we'll end in here shortly, but there's so much to unveil. There's so much to talk about when we're talking about. And so for those of you who are on the feed, maybe it wasn't a specific thing that we didn't cover tonight, but we're going to get to it because there's so much about this topic that needs to be brought out. So I just wanted to be clear. I don't want nobody to leave the feed and be like, man, so these guys didn't even talk about my pain and that. Like, we'll get through all of that. It's just so much to talk about. So
yeah. And it's so good because I didn't understand that, right? I was sharing with these guys earlier, is that I didn't understand, right, that language of, let's use the right verbiage, inner wellness, right, until I was an adult and I began to work with young people, right? And then I was like seeing like some of the trauma that they went through also kind of ignited, right, some of my past and my history, and made me think like, oh, damn, I'm going through some of the same stuff this young person is going through. But here I am, I have an opportunity to now guide and direct this person, young person, or whatever it is, to the right path, right? And I didn't know this about myself until I shared this story. I was sharing this story to a group of young people to talk about, I forgot what it was. I think it was like just so that they would mind their own space. So if you don't know, Manny and I, we do a lot of work with juveniles. And so these are young cats that have come in contact with the juvenile justice system. And I was telling these cats story about how I had this uncle who was the nicest, but the meanest uncle in the world. I know anybody have an uncle like that? Like,
I have like 4.
Dude, so nice, but like also the meanest dude. And I remember when he would get angry, he used to smack me on the back of the neck as a young boy. And I didn't know how traumatized I was by that. So anytime somebody would hit me on the back of the neck, like it didn't matter who it was, I would just become so triggered by that. Because I remember when I went around him, I would like try to duck. Oh, I knew, yeah, you know, when like he's in a good mood, then it was like, okay, I can be around the dude because he's nice. He might give me a couple bucks. But then when he was like, you know what I mean, on some other stuff, I was like ducking and I don't want to be around this dude because I'm about to feel the wrath of that hand, and he was a massive dude, this large dude, my uncle.
Heavy old hands.
And his heavy hands. And he used to smack the back of my neck and I used to cry and hate it. But I was telling this story to this group of young people, not knowing like, man, I was so impacted by that. I didn't even know, right? That helped me to also seek my own counsel and all my own healing. And I understood why I was so triggered by people when they would hit me on the back of the neck. But
yeah,
no, so this is so great. And I would encourage anybody, if you have the opportunity, if you know people and you pick up what are some of the signs, Scarlett? Like, what are some of the signs that we might be able to recognize that say, hey, this person might, and not that we're gonna give somebody a diagnosis, but just to say like, hey, you might need to talk to somebody or whatever.
So, like I said earlier, if whatever you're feeling is impacting your daily functioning in a negative way, so sometimes depending on what it is, it can be either sleeping too little, sleeping too much, having trouble focusing, over racing thoughts, so those are just a couple of things. So whatever negative symptom is coming up, and if it's consistent and persistent and it's interfering with your daily functioning, not just in one area, but several areas of your life, and it can't be just one area too, that's when I would suggest, okay, let's see how we can get some assistance somewhere, somehow. So, and the one thing I wanted to say is, when you have these symptoms, don't suffer in silence. That's the killer. So don't suffer in silence.
I love that. And I think that oftentimes, right, us just as just we come from a family oriented, background and culture where we're, used to always playing the counselor or the coach or whatever it is. But sometimes that could be toxic, right? Because we could be giving the wrong information. Right. So I mean,
it just depends. I said, so one of the things that even as a therapist, I make sure that I don't give out information that I am not aware of. And so typically what I'll tell a client, I'm like, let me do some research. And if it's something that it's more out of my scope, then I'll refer you forward to someone who can actually address your needs. And so my job is to make sure that you get the best help as possible. And it may not be me, and I'm okay with that.
Hey.
And so, because what I always say, therapists are fixers. We are advocates to give you the tools so that you can improve your quality of life.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really good. I like, it shows, like, it speaks volumes, right? When a person's like, I don't know everything, but I know somebody that does. I mean, that does know about this thing that you're going through or whatever topic, right? Because a lot of times, like Boog's talking about, like I was a youth leader. I wear a lot of hats in the church. I work with young kids. And so naturally, when you're the person that's always like, people are coming up to you for advice, right? And me and Boog always have this conversation. Sometimes you automatically, like, because the way people perceive you, the way people look at you, you automatically feel like, just naturally now, after years and years of this, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta have the answer. I gotta have the answer. And I think you're a better person when you can refer people when you don't know the answer. I always tell this to Gina, because Gina be like, man, you always act like you know everything. I said, I don't know about heart surgery. Do you ever hear me talking about heart surgery? Right? And so I always try to check myself on that. That if I don't know what I'm talking about, that I never want to lead somebody into a path where they're going to go into more, be more worse than where they were, because my advice or what I thought I knew in my head, right?
Yeah, that's good. That's part of why we have Scarlett on the show and folks like Kiana, right, who can help drive this conversation because it's so big. And we want to make sure that we're getting folks that support that they need, but also talking around some kind of tangible solutions. Because right to Manny's point, here's some interesting too that Manny and I were talking about earlier. We saw a post on social media. It had Brittany Murphy. What's the Joker's name?
Heath Ledger.
Heath
Heath
Ledger,
Ledger, like all these different folks
Amy
on their
Winehouse.
yeah, who passed away. And I think the title of it was like check on your loud friends, something like that, something to that effect. Like to Manny's point, that's super important too, because sometimes we just automatically make the assumption that because we see these folks who might be a little louder or they're always right, but we just never know, right? And so I want to always be mindful of that, to just like for everybody who's on, like to check on your family members, check on those. Don't just assume that everything's is okay. Take the time to have some meaningful conversation, to check up on them, because right, in light of or at the height of what's happening in American Samoa, and I want to bring this to light because we've been hit up a great deal. We've actually been hit up from a ministry in American Samoa about helping out with some outreach, because it seems like suicide is at its all-time high in American Samoa. What is your experience in learning about that? Have you been following that as well, Scarlett?
Yeah, I've definitely been following it, and so it's very sad to see, because from my understanding, it's young adults who are deciding to transition from Earth, and part of it where I go into, I'm just like, if they had help, whatever that help looks like, whether it's a hotline or somebody who's physically there, hopefully that could make a dent into what they're going through. And so that's what, to put it all together, it's just like, how do you have conversations with one person, but who's part of a very strong family unit, so where it's literally one versus everybody, because it's a matter of like I said, how do we change the family unit, so that everybody can have a safe space or have healthy conversations about what's really going on.
Yeah, that's good.
You said something really important earlier, Scarlett. You said, to not suffer in silence. And so, I implore anyone who's watching this, right, that we, continue, of course, to care for our community, but also to be mindful of how we might inadvertently shame people or about, the ways that they may be feeling. And this isn't towards the suicides in Samoa, but I know that part of suffering in silence is the fear that there might be something wrong with us, or that people are going to talk about us in such a way, right? And that we're going to, the perception of what we might feel like we're being seen as if we have, inner wellness issues that we need support in. Like, I implore us to continue to care for each other and let that be okay, so that we don't feel shamed out of the help that many of us absolutely need. And you never know, like that support could be saving a life. So I know we have a lot of super active feed right now. So just y'all out there, I just want us to be mindful of that.
That's
Agreed.
good.
That's
good. I mean, and it's so hard. I mean, I don't want to say so hard, but I think that's where, at least that's kind of always been, where I've been trying to advocate against, in terms of where the barrier is in culturally, right? Because the mantra of our people is Samoa Mumule Tua, right? And so you're not going to see a casino in every village you go to in Samoa. You're going to see a church. You're going to see multiple different denominations because of how strong our faith is. And so, right, in an island with that everything is just based on faith, and with culture and heritage, and that, like, why do you see so much suicide happening in our young people in American Samoa, where there's a church literally on everywhere you turn in Samoa, where people are speaking the truth of Jesus Christ? And this is just me. I feel like there's just so many, right? Let me use the right verbiage, internal wellness, right? Stuff that needs to be addressed within that needs to be addressed with our young people, and with families in American Samoa. And that's what I feel, because a lot of that stuff is just kind of just like, left unspoken and just like swept under the rug, because we don't know how to deal with it. So
I have a question. Somebody asked, Valine Stevens asked on the feed, Can mental health be genetic?
It can. There's certain diagnoses that can be genetic. It just depending on what it is. And so, in particularly for those who, when I see those individuals who have it genetically, I always talk with them. It's not about getting rid of your symptoms. It's about how do we manage it so that you can function daily.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good, man. And we're almost to the end of our time, but I want to just Scarlett, are there any other things that we should be conscious or we should be aware about in terms of internal wellness? See, I'm trying to use the right language here, guys.
My thing about it is we already know what it feels like to not ask for help. We know how that feels. So my thing is, my challenge to you is, why don't we just try the other side? Like what's the harm that you think is going to happen? Because whatever that is, you don't know until you try. So that's my challenge. If something, we know how it feels to not say anything, and we know how it feels to carry all this stuff. Think about if you actually released it to somebody who actually is professionally trained to take it and how to handle it for you and how you navigate that with them as well.
That's good. I think the one of the biggest fears. Sorry, this just popped in my head, is that the fear of something causing conflict within the family. Like, say something happened within the family, right? You're scared of something that might happen, and so I don't want to cause all that drama. So I'm gonna just leave it alone, and I'm gonna just deal with this, right? And then we see the aftermath. Now she's married, or he's married, and he's doing some crazy, But now the wife or the husband of that person who was hurt a long time ago is now dealing with the aftermath because he didn't say or she didn't say something when they were little, and so that whole fear of conflict, right? That's enough for us to, like Boog saying, "Oh shoot, I always have to duck when I'm around my uncle because that fear of getting hit in the neck." And thankfully for me, I didn't have a neck my whole life growing up, so I didn't have to worry about that. But you know what I mean? It's that fear.
Yeah.
That fear, I saw somebody right on the feet. It's easier said than done, but just try it.
Yeah.
Just try it, because that
Just
try
try.
can save your life, man.
That's so good, man. Kiana, any final thoughts, Kiana?
Man, a lot, but take care of yourselves, y'all. To that point, Manny, easier said than done. Absolutely, there are going to be things that are challenging about this, but you never know what stands on the other side of trying something different. So I would just say, incrementally, it doesn't have to be a big step forward. Do what you can afford to do at a time. So and with the end goal being to take care of yourselves.
That's good.
So good. Scarlett, any final words?
Just to continue to add on to what Kiana was saying, it's if we want to take it back to the church, it's do great in the little things, then we can handle the big things as we get better at those little things. And so, continue to reach out for help. There are resources out there, and if you're afraid to ask, go to somebody who you're confident, who you feel you can confide in. And so, and if it's not a friend or family member, at schools, they have teachers, they have counselors who can hopefully direct you in the right way. At work, they have HR, who can help you in those facets as well. So, the reality is don't isolate yourself to where you're alone, because the reality is we all need help no matter what it is. And so, as we always hear, it takes a village to raise a kid, but we need that same village as adults as well.
That's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Boog, one more thing. Let's be better, because as every time Kiana and Scarlett talk, like things just pop up in my head. Let's be better, right? That if you're not the right person, like say the information came to you, say somebody came to you and said, "Hey, this happened to me," or this is going on in my life. Let's be better people at getting them to the right people, right? Instead of like using it to fakakala and go talk smack about what that person is going through. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I see people collect information just to cause rumors and all of this stuff. Just to we become more gossip people and more, instead of like, man, I should really take that into consideration, that that person trusts me enough to tell me what he's going through or she's going through. My job now is to go send them to somebody that they can get help from, instead of talking about them and laughing about them behind their back. And then when something serious happens, then we're thinking, oh man, rest in peace. Or, if the situation does get that bad, now we're fake posting on Instagram and, oh, rest in peace, man. You were my da 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 da. Like, man, you had an opportunity to save somebody, man. So let's be better people at trying to help people instead of talking about them when they come
That's
up
good.
with issues, man.
That's
my
good,
final
man.
thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's good, and we're gonna end on that note. We're gonna post Scarlett, her information for her LLC. It's Elevation Healing LLC, and she is a professional in her field. And we wanna thank you so much for taking the time to come on and share with us.
Thank you all.
Thank you for
I
all the
appreciate
knowledge.
you all.
And
Thank you for
insight.
having this.
This won't be the last time, right? This won't be the last time we have this
No.
conversation. We are committed
No.
to continuing this conversation. And I just want to thank you so much, Scarlett and Kiana, and
Thank
also
you all.
Maddie,
Appreciate it.
for taking the time to share on such a big topic. And I also want to end in Scarlett's words. She said, don't suffer in silence.
Yeah, that's so
Don't
good.
suffer in silence. Like, that is just some powerful words from Scarlett. And so if you are out there and if you need support, we are going to share her information and also some other resources for anybody that might need some additional information. We're going to post it on all of our social media outlets. But thank you guys for this great conversation tonight, and we look forward to having more conversations. Big Goose Radio, stay locked in. We're going to go to our sports segment. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you so much, Scarlett, for joining us. Have a great night. Aloha. God bless you both.
Thank you.
Stay locked in, Big Goose
Bye.
Radio, everybody. We're going to go to our sports segment. We're going to see who won, who lost. But before we do that, we're going to this video right now by Faith Evans. This is an oldie but a goodie, y'all. Big Goose Radio. Keep it locked in. Jerusalem High.
I was living could stop serving rocks, knowing the cops is hot when I'm on the block. And I wish my brother would have made bail so I won't have to travel 6 hours to see him in jail. And I wish that my grandmother wasn't sick, or that we would just come up on some stacks and hit a lick. And I wish my homies wouldn't have to suffer when the streets get the upper hand on us and we lose a brother. And I wish I could go deep in the zone and lift the spirits of the world with the words within the song. And I wish I could teach a soul to fly, take away the pain out your hands and help you hold them high. And I wish my homie Butch was still alive and know the day of his death we had never took that ride. And I wish that God could protect us from the wrong, so that all the soldiers that were sent overseas come home. And we will never break, though they devastate. We shall motivate, and we gotta pray, all we gotta spay. Instead of thinking about who gon' die today, the Lord is gonna help you feel better, so you ain't gotta cry today. Sit at the light so long, and then we gotta move straight forward, cause we fight so strong. So when right go wrong, just say a little prayer, get your money, man, life goes on.
I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and he'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, cause we hopeful.
I wish that you could show some love, instead of hating so much when you see some other people coming up. I wish I could teach the world to sing, write some music and have them tripping off the joy I bring. I wish that we can hold hands, listen instead of dissing lessons from a grown man. And I wish the families that lack but got love get some stacks, brand new shot in a lack that's on dubs. And I wish we could keep achieving wonders, see the vision of the world through the eyes of Stevie Wonder. You feel me? And I hope all the kids eat, and don't nobody in my family see 6 feet. You dig? I hope the mothers stand strong. You can make it whether you with them or your man's gone. And I wish I could give every Sally some commissary, and the popo bring the heat on a piece like that did R. Kelly. And I wish that DOC could scream again, and bullets could reverse and Pac and Biggie breathe again. Then one day they could speak again. I wish that we only saw good news every time we look at CNN. I wish we could never get the blues. Wish I could bring back the people that died at E2. I wish that we could walk a path, stay doing the right thing, hustle hard so the kids maintain up in the game.
Hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it. Let it take you away and be hopeful, hopeful, and he'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, cause we hope.
Wish the earth wasn't so apocalyptic. I try to spread my message to the world the best way that I can give it. We can make it, always be optimistic. If you don't listen, gotta live my life the best way that I can live it. I pray for justice when we go to court. Wish it was all good so the country never even went to war. Why can't we kick it and just get them on? And in the famous words of Mr. King, why can't we all just get along? Hope we can find a better way to shop in peas and I hope we find a better way than copper keys and I wish everybody would just stop and freeze and ask, why are we fulfilling these downfalls and these prophecies? You can be wrong if it's you doubting. With the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And only the Heavenly Father can ease the hurt. Just let it go and keep praying on your knees at church.
Yes, I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it. Let it take you away and be hopeful, hopeful.
Yes, that was Faith Evans and Twisted. That's another oldie but a goodie. Definitely one of my all-time favorite joints, man, by them. We do not own the rights to any of that music, so please don't try to kick us off our live Facebook gurus. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a great conversation. Thank you so much to Scarlett Ekeroma, also Miss Kiana Fuega. And look out for Kiana. She got a show happening on Sunday, Tea Time with Kiana, a.k.a. the Little Oos. But now we're going to go into the part of our evening, which is our every Tuesday night, our sports segment, ladies and gentlemen, where we just highlight what happened in sports. Let's not talk about what happened today about the Lakers, please.
Well, we got to start from the beginning, right?
Because I'm going to need to seek some, internal wellness.
Internal wellness. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot of Laker people on the thing. So,
Sis Loma, what's going on? Thank you guys, everybody, for weighing in. We appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, definitely a dope topic.
Dope.
I appreciate everybody that's tuned in, and let's get into some sports, man.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna start off with this right here because this happened over the weekend, right?
Let's get it. Wow, let's get it.
Jokic trying to disrupt Rondo. He puts it in. Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win. Oh, it's good! Anthony Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Yes.
Anthony.
We got to see it one more time.
Trying to disrupt Rondo. He puts it in. Here's Davis, 4-3 in the win.
Game time, baby.
So we all know that Lakers, hey, this is crazy though, right? Breaking news, right?
Yeah.
The Lakers lost tonight, right?
We did.
And you guys almost lost that game, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, we got a series on our hands.
We do.
Because to be honest, I thought it was going to be a sweep, honestly. Or at least 4-1. That's what I thought it was going to be.
I think it's going to be 4-1.
Yeah, you think so?
I think we're gonna get these next two, man, and we're gonna finish it up, man, and get back to the chip. That's where we belong. I mean, I'm not taking away anything from Denver, man. They're a dope team. They are a dope team. Joker is no joke, man. I mean, that squad. They played. I watched that game. I watched up to the third quarter of tonight's game, and man, we were just playing lazy, man.
Yeah,
we missed so many shots. We had an opportunity to close the gap on some of those leads, but. So we just we lost our pace, man. We lost our pace and we couldn't find it. And so they were definitely, played at a high pace tonight, making all their shots, fighting for loose balls. But yeah, man, Lake showing 4, baby, in 5. Lake showing 5.
Lake showing
5. Lake showing 5 for sure.
That's cute.
Lake showing 5, man.
That's cute. I got another video I got to show.
I'm going
to be showing a lot of videos, but just to recap on what happened, we're going to start the night off with Thursday Night Football. As you guys all know, right? The Bengals versus the Browns, right? Probably the sorriest teams ever. I mean, Sorry, I need some
No,
water.
say it louder.
Probably the sorriest teams in the NFL until I saw what happened to the Falcons. But we're going to cover that later, right? So we know that the Browns beat the Bengals 35-30. Was anybody watching Thursday Night Football?
Bro,
I wasn't. Now we're moving on to the Bears. The Bears beat the Giants. This was sad news, bro. The Bears beat the Giants 17-13, but the Giants lost Saquon for the rest of the year.
He's out, man.
I don't know what's going to happen with that, man, because that boy is...
And they built that whole offense around him, man.
Yeah. So Saquon's out for the year. If you got Saquon on your fantasy, if you got your Saquon on your fantasy team, good luck.
I'm going to drop him now.
Yep. How about them Packers, though? We got any cheeseheads on the feed?
I don't think so, bro.
Cheeseheads on the feed. 42-21. Ooh, they beat up the Lions. And the Lions had the lead on that game, too, man. But here goes AR, Aaron Rodgers, Mr. AR, Oos, and Aaron Jones killing it.
He's balling.
42-21.
He's balling.
And then we had the Titans beat the Jaguars. That was a field goal. 33-30. Right?
How did what's his name? How did Chris Henry do?
Who?
Or the running back for Tennessee.
Henry. What is his first name?
Isn't it Chris?
I can't even think of it. No.
It's not. I thought it was Chris Henry.
Oh my gosh! Why am I blanking out and I'm doing the sports segment? So hey, good to see Tutu on the live.
Hey!
Tutu is short for this season his name is 0-2. It's not Tutu. It's 0-2. Okay.
0-2.
But anyways,
Braveheart. You already know.
Brave House. For my Braveheart.
Brave House. Get ready for this weekend, baby.
The Titans beat the Jags 33-30. The Colts beat the Vikings. This was surprising. All right, man, what's up with the Vikings, bro? They just don't got it this year. 28-11. The Bills versus the Dolphins 31. That was a good one. 31-28. And I heard rumors
they were chanting Tua's name.
Yep, rumors are being heard that Tua might start next game. So let's clap it up for the Uso, man.
They better not start him.
Why?
Cause man, don't play him, bro. Don't play him right now, man.
Why? He gotta come in. Remember in adversity use in the national championship game, right? When things wasn't going Bama's way, who was the man that stepped up to the plate, Oos? And then he got sacked, and then he threw the bomb to win the national championship, Oos.
Are the Dolphins gonna go to the Super Bowl?
No, I'm just saying the adversity part. I'm not talking about.
Yeah, no. Don't get the Oos hurt yet, man. They need.
I like how you waited till I said all of that just to say. But are they going to the Super Bowl? That's my point. Are they going to the Super Bowl? They're not.
Chill out in that $15.5 million home that you got with like 32 rooms. Invite me over to the crib, Tua.
And so the next game, man, is crazy. 37-19, the Rams beat up on the Eagles. And what's crazy, right, is that San Francisco and Seattle always got this thing going at it. And they're never paying attention to the Cardinals and the Rams, bro. And I think that's two teams that they need to watch out for.
Hey, the Rams, the Rams are balling right now, bro.
Yep.
Their defense looks nice. That offense, offensive coordinator, bro, he's nothing. He's something nice, man. I see the way in the first two games I got to watch, man. The way they're moving that ball and that offense is like
it's different.
Operating on all of them cylinders. It's really nice. But the biggest upset is the Eagles, bro. Like Wentz is just like, I mean, he's got all those weapons, around him. And
I wonder who drafted Wentz for their fantasy quarterback.
Dude, what idiot? What idiot on planet Earth? What idiot on planet Earth would draft Wentz as their quarterback?
Man,
you know what that idiot is? I'm that idiot.
Hi, I'm me.
I'm the idiot that drafted Wentz. But you know what? A good thing I picked up Burrow. And I started Burrow this past Sunday.
Yeah.
And he gave
Thursday.
He gave me 25 points.
Yeah.
But you know what upset me is AJ Green.
Oh, AJ Green's trash, bro.
AJ Green gave me like 3 or 4 points, bro. AJ
Green is trash.
Come on, AJ.
Sorry, no disrespect, but man, the way you're playing is trash. That's what the youngins would call it now, right?
Yeah.
Trash.
Trash.
Anyways, Tampa Bay Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
Tampa Bay. Oos. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers won their first game.
I still don't believe it.
31-17. I know they played the Panthers, right?
Panthers.
And so
I don't believe
clap it up for Tom
believe
Brady.
It.
I'm just happy. I'm just really happy he's out of our division. I mean, out of our conference.
I want to see Tom Brady lose every dang game.
For real.
I want to see Tom Brady win one game. That's how bad I don't want to see that dude succeed. I want him to lose every game. You got how many rings? You got like 6 rings, right?
6, bro.
Bro,
Same like
what?
Same like this next team I'm about to show the video for.
Okay.
All right. So this next team, they won 26-21. I'm gonna just show you highlights on this rookie right here. Y'all should be scared about. Chase Claypool, baby.
He's nice.
Team. And gonna go deep down the far sideline. He's got his man. That ball is
separation.
And Claypool to the end zone for the touchdown.
Let's show it one more time. Sorry. I'm not doing this because I'm a Steelers fan.
From the 16.
No, not at all.
That's a rookie. That's a rookie.
That ball is caught by Claypool.
Airing it out, though.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
For the touchdown.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We ready.
Okay, Big Ben.
Bro, we are ready.
Ben airing it out.
Vince, why you act surprised for? We're ready for Lamar Jackson this year.
Y'all are not ready for Lamar Jackson.
7 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery. I think we playing lights out on defense.
Bro,
I don't know if you asked me, bro.
Y'all ain't ready for it.
Don't ask me because I'll give you that. That's my answer.
Y'all ain't ready for L Jack, bro.
Huh?
L Jack gonna ski skirt all over y'all, bro.
Okay, not the ski skirt.
What's up, JJ? The voice of the Northwest.
Yes,
JJ.
sir.
Moody Fuller, ladies and gentlemen.
Brings us to, because I show one of my, and you guys know, everybody that's viewing in, you guys know I'm a Pittsburgh fan, and Boog is a Ravens fan. And so the Ravens had a huge win over the Texans, 33-16, and I want to show
light work.
I want to show a clip.
Light work.
Just a highlight of the game for Brother Vince, so he don't give me crap about it later. Here you go, Vince. Here's your highlight.
Thank you so much, sir.
4th and 1. What they gonna do?
You know who's gonna take it.
They're gonna crib it, baby. And he threw the ball.
And he karate chopped the logo.
Karate chop.
Karate kicked the logo. The Texans logo.
4th and 1.
Big stress.
Big stress.
Big stress. Doggy's dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch right here.
Whoa.
He got some MMA skills. Look at
I think he trained at Brave House, Zeus. I think he trained at Brave House.
He trained at Brave House, man. Like, you know, he trained at Brave House. Big stress, doggy dog.
Yes, sir. All right, we're moving on.
I thought L Jack was going to run that too.
Yeah, they ran a wildcat.
It was a direct snap to him, man.
That was crazy. Crazy. I just want to show one more clip, and then we'll get into the other stuff. But Seattle 49ers, check out this kid right here, man. Y'all paying attention to each other too much not to be worried about the Rams and Cardinals. Kyler Murray is killing it.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. This dude, something crucial.
Oh, man, he just color fire ankles. Jeez, did you see the ankles?
Oh. That's
right here. This dude right here. Whoop. Oh. Jeez.
2nd and 19.
Tyler, you know how much people are getting injured? How many ACLs been torn this past weekend, and you want to...
Yeah, that's another thing that's just, man.
It's crazy.
I think they were saying, like, I was watching something on ESPN or NFL Network talking about this is kind of the most injuries since, like, you know, it's been like 15 or 20 years since they've seen the amount of injuries they've seen in week 2 or even week 1.
Yeah.
NFL history, which is so crazy, man. No OTAs, no preseason. Like, man, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy is that like this is what you know, you find the measure of a professional football. This is how you measure is like the next guy up. next
Yep.
guy up. How well you're receiving his coaching,
Yep.
whether you're ready. And that's the part I love about, because you see those Cinderella stories of the guys who are just waiting for their opportunity to come up, and now you get to see some of those guys. I mean, prayers for the guys that are hurt,
Yeah.
but I'm also excited about those young cats that get an opportunity.
You know what I'm laughing at, is Sister Star said, I mean, it was the Redskins.
Oh.
But Kyler Murray did that to you guys in week 1.
Star Niners fan?
Big time.
Star. Oh man, I
Big
didn't know
time.
Star was a Niners fan.
Big time. Anyways,
She did to the Niners. He did that to the Niners too.
Remember, we showed that highlight. Star just wasn't there to see it.
Oh, so
Anyways, we're going to move on to Sunday Night Football. Was that a game or what?
that was a game, bro.
That was a game, bro. Yeah. And I want to highlight, because a lot of Seattle people, they think I'm a Seahawk hater. Which
but you are.
No, just to be clear, 100% clear. I am 1,000% a Seahawk hater. So, but anyways, but I'm big on showing love too, and we gotta show. Man, do you see what that man Russ is doing?
Russ is on.
Do you see what that man Russ is doing?
He's on some MVP stuff right now. He's on some MVP stuff
9
right now.
touchdowns
in
two games.
2 games.
9 touchdowns. 1,
Wow.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 touchdowns, Zeus, in 2 games, Zeus. So we're gonna play this clip. I want to show what he did on Sunday night, bruh. This was crazy. Patriots always, and the whole game, Moose, let me put some context behind this. The whole game, they kept saying, the best secondary in football, the best second. They have the defensive player of the year in Stephon Gilmore. Yeah, let's see what happens to Gilmore.
There was good work. That secondary was
Wilson eludes, fires on the run into traffic. Touchdown. Tyler Lockett. Stays in the block. Wilson, as he throws deep downfield.
DK on Gilmore. On Gilmore.
All about this. Here they are again. They took Gilmore out for one play. Back in. Wilson goes the other way. Deep downfield.
Terry, tell us all about it.
That catch, though.
Touchdown. The pylon does not put him out of bounds. He gets both feet inbounds.
Oh,
this is a catch.
Yo.
To the ground. Touch
picks up the first down.
In the pocket.
Walk in the park.
Swing. Touchdown. Thrown the ball 28 times. Pass number 29 is caught. Chris Carson for the touchdown.
Somebody need to tell me where the best secondary in the league is, because I don't see it over there.
Please, I don't see it either.
I don't see it on that clip.
No, I don't see it at all.
That was
work.
Belichick, I am disappointed in you. You always put up the best secondary against my team.
But I'm so glad. I want to see the fall of Belichick. I want to see the fall of Tom Brady.
No,
I want it
real.
all to just come crumbling down. Sorry, y'all. I was winning.
And so I got a special. I want to take some time to highlight the some bloopers that happened on Sunday. Can we do that real quick?
Bro, Russ is balling, man. I think he's on some MVP stuff, man. I'm not even a hater, man. But
Russ is balling, Us.
Russ is balling.
Russ is balling.
Russ is balling.
I want to take some time to highlight some bloopers on Sunday. All right, can we do that?
Yes, let's run it.
Here we go.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh,
I just had to put some context behind this, bro.
Hey, I'm not mad, bro. I'm actually gonna start crying.
Without timeouts.
It's
got about 10 yards.
Jeez. How do you mess this up, Boog? Let's pause the video right here. There's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Falcons. 4 of them standing around the ball. You would think this was a campfire, telling stories over there at the campfire. Jeez. What happened?
Dude, they just broke on under pressure, man.
Oh my Lord. So fitting for the music that we're playing.
Yeah, exactly,
My
man.
goodness.
I'm crying if I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan right now. I'm crying.
And then what happened? To the rookie, CeeDee Lamb, baby.
Oh.
It just brings me back to the Falcons Super Bowl.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Look at this. Whoop, fall down. Solid.
Ankle.
Here we go. The game winner.
For a winner.
Jeez. Jeez.
Look at that. Look at Jerry Jones.
Oh, Lord. How do you mess that up? How do you mess that up?
You would have been all bad if he missed that.
Crazy.
Oh no. There it is.
Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
Wow.
Oh man.
That was almost a replay, I mean, of the Super Bowl. You know, Seattle got that moment back. Like,
oh, that's so funny.
The crazy thing is, if you watch that game, right? And I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping that Seattle lost that game.
Oh.
No, but I already knew. Like everybody knew Cam was gonna run the ball.
Everybody and their mama knew.
Cam was gonna run the ball. I thought they would just like do one of those plays where they just do it over the top.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or give Cam the option to either throw it or run it. There was
a play that they did earlier where he faked the run and he tossed it over to the fullback, wide open. I was thinking, how come they didn't run that play? Because everybody and their mama and their mama's mamas and their mama's mamas knew that he was going to run the ball.
They played the run so hard because they knew. And anyways, I'm glad the Patriots lost. Belichick lost.
Yeah, I really don't care.
Somewhere deep down inside me, I was hoping that they would both lose.
Yeah, no, for real.
You know, but man, that was a great week of sports, man. We look on to we got a big Monday night game coming up, though.
We got one more videos.
Oh, okay. Let's run
it. This is to highlight Monday Night Football, all right? And so we all know who played. The Raiders and the Saints. I gotta show love, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's been 20 years since they've been 2-0.
I know because the Raiders won the Super Bowl, right? They won the Super Bowl this last Sunday.
The Raiders won the Super Bowl.
Oh, Monday, last night. They won the Super Bowl last night. I forgot. Yep.
And so this is how you act, right? This is how you act, Oos, when you 2-0, when you win the Super Bowl after week 2.
You should have played the sad music, the Titanic music behind this.
Let's watch that one more time. This is how you act when you win the Super Bowl after week 2. Ha! 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 One more time, Boog. One more time.
One more time. Let's get it.
Ready? Ha! 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 Ha!
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, and then after that, Oos, after week 6 is gonna be like ha 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 ha.
Bro, you know what? You know what? I'm not even mad at
Lord.
Them, man. Let them have their moment, man. Let them have their moment, man.
I'm not mad.
Because when I watched that game too on Monday, and I just felt like momentum-wise that the Saints were going to win. Because what's his name? Carl was playing like garbage at the beginning.
Yeah, he was.
Yo, this dude, man. And I've always said that about Carr, man. I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders. But Carr, I've been saying it for a long time, man. Get rid of that dude, man.
So like halfway through the season, that car always breaks down, bro. We all know that.
Yeah.
And so, but to stay on the positive side, congratulations to Raider Nation. Woohoo!
Do you have a Super Bowl trophy for them that you can give them?
I got a jar of almonds.
Congratulations to the Raiders for being 2-0.
Yes, sir.
I think that they were looking at the stats, and it's been like how many years since they've been 2-0. So celebrate that. We'll move on to next to week 3 of sports. We got some good games ahead of us. Look out for that Boston Miami series happening tomorrow. That's going to be that's game 5, right?
Tomorrow, that's game 4.
Game 4. 2-1. Miami's up in that, so Celtics need to close the deal tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I think we're back. Lakers, Denver, back again on Thursday. Who's playing Thursday night?
Thursday night is Jaguars and somebody. I forgot who it was.
June. Man, I'm telling you, Carr is not the guy. I can guarantee you. June said he won 5K.
Yeah,
on the June. I'm ready to bet your 5K that you will not go to a Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years with Carr at quarterback. Bet your 5K on that.
For real.
Bet your 5K on that, June. You willing to put up your 5K?
I'll give you.
I guarantee you the Raiders do not go to the Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years with Carr at quarterback.
Yeah, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl before I go to heaven. I'll tell you that much.
So, dude, I love the Raiders, but not with Carr back there, man. Carr is not the truth. He's a good dude. I follow his story, and like he's got a great story between him and his brother. But
it's always that else.
Quarterback, Malolo. Put Mariota back there. Put the Oos back there.
Hey, Oos. Hold on, real quick. Go ahead, Oos. My bad.
No. I'm just saying, man. I've always said that.
Mariota needs to come back and play for them, man.
Yeah,
he needs to take over that.
Wait, did they cut him?
No, I think he's still on the team.
He's still on the team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot to share one more thing. San Francisco highlights.
Oh, did they have any highlights?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We didn't forget about you, Niners.
There fans. You go, Niner fans. That is the highlight for the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh.
Hold on, Oos. I got some background music.
Oh, wow. Wow. That hurts. I'm sorry, Niner gang, Niner Nation, Niner faithful.
Soak it all in, guys. This video's hecka dope.
Is that Bosa or is that Garoppolo?
Pick one, Oos. Pick one. Anyone.
There's a long list.
Oh man, I'm just playing, but we don't condone in making fun of people that get hurt and stuff like that. I'm sorry for doing that. Look, but you can't lie, that was funny as hell.
Sal said, "Wow."
Oh shoot, Sal! I never want to make Sal mad.
I mean, that's a lot. It's like I think the Niners have like what? Isn't it like 10 or 12 guys that are hurt?
Yeah, 7 starters, bro.
7 starters.
Starting
Sherman?
with
Sherman's hurt too.
Sherman's hurt. Garoppolo's hurt. Bosa, Mostert is hurt.
Oh, the running back.
Deebo Samuels is hurt. Right. Solomon Thomas, and then Star Leotawa, the number 1 cheerleader.
Star, I'm so sorry, Star. Star, yeah. Man, we're going to be praying for you, Star, and the whole Niner faithful. I pray that you guys, find a way to continue to battle on the field. It's going to be tough with all them starters out. And who did the Niners play in week 3?
Man.
On the road, I think. I think they got the Rams. Oh, no, they already played the Rams. Oh, no. They got the Rams, I think.
Let me see. Let me update that. Let's see who plays in week 3. Can we do that?
Yes, let's see.
Or we running out of time?
3. Because we got a Monday night game, a big Monday
Bro, that
night
Monday
game.
night's going to be fire, Oos.
Monday night. Listen.
That Monday night game's going to be
everybody,
fire.
We are going to Manny's house because he's going to cook
Yes, sir.
Ribeye steaks for all of us.
That's right.
For Ravens and Kansas City fans only, right?
And the and the
Steelers.
steaks are going to be provided to you by Valley's Kitchen.
Thank you so much, Miss Valine. That's what I love Valley's Kitchen.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
She just always, is there to provide for us, man. Thank you so much, Sis Valine, for providing the steaks.
Yes, sir.
Ribeye steaks, Valley's Kitchen. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Hey, so y'all heard it right here, man. We at Manny's house. If G's okay with it, we at Manny's house on Monday for the Monday night game.
I live at
Kitchen's on the ones and twos.
I live at Raymond Hall Juvenile. Broncos play the Jets next week. Colts play the Bears. Jaguars and Bengals. Browns play the Cowboys. Saints play the Lions. Steelers play. Oh no, this is wrong. This is week 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm tripping. All right, here we go. Dolphins play the Jaguars. Bears play the Falcons. Oh man, Falcons don't even play the season anymore. Rams play the Bills. Washington football team plays the Browns. Titans play the Vikings. Raiders play the Patriots. That's another good game.
Ooh,
49ers play the
test
Giants.
for Carr.
Yeah. Ooh, 49ers play the Giants. The battle of the injuries. Anyways, Bengals play the Eagles. Texans play the Steelers. Jets play the Colts. Panthers play the Chargers. Buccaneers play the Broncos. Lions play the Cardinals. Cowboys play the Seahawks. Ooh, that's I don't know. The Seahawks. I mean, the Cowboys.
Wait, Cardinals play Seahawks?
No. Cowboys play the Seahawks. The Lions play the Cardinals.
Do they got a Sunday night game?
No, I think it's Packers and Saints Sunday night.
I don't want to see that Sunday night game.
I know. And then Monday night is going to be the Chiefs and Ravens.
Monday night is the game that matters the most, guys. All those other games.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't matter. Rock. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, tune in to Thursday night, Oos. Because Tua, if the rumors are correct, Tua might be starting against the Jaguars.
Tua will not play. Tua better not play. I'm going to call his dad right now.
Let him know.
Hey,
Uncle.
Yo, you better not play Tua. You want to play Tua? Yeah, Cash App might say, Cash App me $10,000. No. Don't play Tua on Thursday. Because who does Miami play on Thursday?
They play the Jaguars.
Oh, Jags.
So, I don't know. It only takes one hit, right? That's in boxing. That's in any sport, man. It only takes one hit. You never know, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether they save him now or later, it only takes one hit, man. And so, I mean, but I get your point. You know what I mean? You can still be a student of the game while he's sitting on the bench and learning. But hey, go ahead and tap into that documentary, man. So got that dope documentary.
I watched the documentary this past weekend with my kids, and it was like by the end of the documentary, the Tua documentary, you can go. It's on demand. Watch it, man. We were crying, man. My wife was in tears. I was in tears, man. It was such an emotional documentary, man. To see, I was kind of worried at first about the documentary. And this is why I was worried, is because I didn't want too much pressure to be put on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you haven't done anything in the NFL just yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want to put that unnecessary pressure. But when you watch the documentary, it really has nothing to do with that. It's really just telling the story of what he's overcome about this brown boy from Hawaii who
from White Power.
From White Power. Is he from White Power?
I just want to get some of that shine.
I thought he was from Lakewood.
Lakewood, Hawaii.
So he goes all the way to Alabama, to the other side of the U.S., man, and builds a legacy there. And so it's a great story, man, and a family of tradition, of heritage, of the game of the sport of football, which we love. I would recommend that you sit down and you watch that movie with your children, because after that movie, I watched that with the children, with my kids and my wife, man. We were able to just like have some great conversations about like,
good.
I told my kids, you guys, you see that? You see the house that they live in? $2 million. You see our house? You see the car? You see what he did for his parents? What are you guys gonna do?
That kind of conversation.
No, but it was just so dope to just see, how the way he honors the Lord and his family, and man, it's just a class act. That kid's a class act, man.
That's the main thing, man.
Much love to him and great upbringing, man. Shout out to his parents, man, and his grandparents and his entire family for raising such a great kid, man. And we just
That's
wish
good.
you nothing but success, Tua.
Yeah.
And I pray that your dad cash at me just for to Big Goose Radio.
My man,
Just a
just a
little bit,
humble,
just a
humble
humble 10K.
300,000. You know what I mean? Oh,
Just a humble 20K just
I
to
said
send it over
300,000.
to Big Goose so we can
Yes,
help,
sir. Yes, sir.
But it's
Help.
all good. Yeah. And then also this Friday, shout out to my also Tulo, who is the CEO for Brave House. They have a big fight this weekend, and my nephew Eddie will be fighting in that along with some of the other Usos. Will be out there to support. If you're looking for somewhere to train, hit up my also Low, man. We'll post
Yes,
his information
sir.
too, man. Get some of that in, man. It's gonna be super dope. And then let's talk about Fire Fridays, bro.
Bam!
We got.
Let's go.
We got Manny and his brothers on here. We got my Uso Manny and the band of brothers. We got Manny and the band of brothers on here.
Yes, sir.
Five. Yes.
Hey, on the real though, that's my also Ty, my also Remy.
Oh, I thought that was yours.
But we're gonna talk about. But this is my cousin's band. They came up here. I got a chance.
702.
They're so dope, and
They're dope.
I can't wait till they jump on Friday and rock with us. It's gonna be fun, Oos. It's gonna be really fun.
Wait, stop it real quick.
Yes, sir.
Go, Manny. Go like this. Close your eyes. Go ahead, Manny. Go like this. Go ahead. Look to the side. This go like this. Go like this. Ooh, there you go. Band of brothers right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now tune in Friday. We're going all the way up with these Usos from the 702, man. They are super talented and gifted, and I can't wait to jam with them on Fire Fridays this Friday. Same time, same bat channel, Big Goose Radio. We're gonna keep it locked in this Friday. We're going all the way up, man.
All the way.
All the way. Any other announcements before we get out of here?
I think that's it.
You gotta. Let me see if I can get into this joint.
You got some music?
Yeah, talk to him real quick. Let me cue this up one time.
Hey, you see, Gina wrote he didn't even make the band.
Wow,
that's true.
G.
No,
how you gonna do my Oos like that?
Oos, that's real. If you listen to these brothers sing on Friday yet,
bro, I heard the YouTube. They was jamming.
Fire,
the reggae dude.
Yeah.
See the reggae dude? Oh, bro, he was filthy.
Yeah, fire,
Oos.
Tutu said Manny is in the Not Yet band. Oi, Sol. Tutu, pretty soon I'm gonna come over there and punch a hole in your punching bag, Ligams. Dope segment tonight, Oos.
Yeah, man, it's a dope segment tonight. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Moso Manny. Love you. It's a great session tonight. Thank you guys. Like, all seriousness with like the joking around tonight was a very, very important segment because we talked about some really deep stuff tonight. And so we pray that it helps you in some kind of way and that the Lord provide that the Lord would hear your prayers and meet you right where you're at. And if you need, we're going to post Scarlett's information, Kiana's information, our information. If you need somebody to talk to, if you're going through something, remember the Lord Jesus loves you. We love you. Big Goose Radio, we love you. We're here to support you through anything. We might not have all the answers, but we definitely want to steer you in the right direction to where you can get the support that you need. And so we love you all. We'll see you guys on Friday, man. Big Goose Radio. Any final words, Manny?
Don't suffer in silence.
That's good, Oos.
So that's the thing that's been echoing loud in the whole conversation that we had. Like she said, man, you tried being quiet. It didn't fix anything. You tried keeping it to yourself. It didn't fix anything. So try talking to somebody, right? And like the point that we brought up earlier, if you're that somebody that person has come up to, man, let's be better caretakers. Let's be, caregivers. You know what I mean? And care for these people. When they come up to us to talk to us about serious issues that they're going through, and let's be more of that rather than be rumor starters and people who laugh behind people's back. Let's be better.
Yeah.
We're already going through a pandemic. We don't need 2020's already been
crazy
rough, and so let's be better at being there for each other. That'll heal the world.
Good word. And we'll end on that, man. We'll end on that. Thank you guys. Junior Buggin. What's up, Uso? Hopefully we have you on soon to share your story. Loke, we'll see you Saturday morning. Big fight, man. Prayers going up to all the fighters and everybody that's on the live. Ooh,
sorry. I saw Tutu on it. It just got me kind of, you know what I mean? Froggy. What they call that? Froggy. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
froggy.
Look like you got a little skill.
You know what I mean? Come with the sound effects too.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody want no problems with my Uso, Big Manny, man.
You know what I'm saying?
On that note, we're gonna end with one of the favorites. This is too long. This is a joint by David Rhythm. It's unreleased, exclusive on Big Goose Radio. Have a good night, y'all. We love y'all.
Yes, sir.
New music.
The specialist delivery.
Turn this up. I'm telling you, it goes.
Remember those walls are built, baby, they're tumbling down. Didn't even put up a fight, didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I really never had. Standing in the light of the headlight, I got my hand down. Too strong for too long, but we riding till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Too strong for too long, but we riding.
Shout out to all my 2-0 people. 2-0 people. Let's go.
And the hell and back is just to feed these babies. It's just us against the world to feel we, baby. You deserve it all, cause you bet it all just to be doing me. I go against the grain, so my babies maintain. I would take the pain, and you know that I won't hesitate. It's been us two since 02, when you know the deal. I've been trying to journey on what you think to real. Remember those walls are built, baby, they're tumbling down. Didn't even put up a fight, didn't even make up a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I really never had. Standing in the light of the halo, I got my angel now. Too strong for too long, but we riding till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Too strong for too long, but we riding through the pain and the struggle, baby.
Love you, Mouse.
Love you, Uso. Have a good night, y'all. We'll see you next Friday. God bless.